Da, da, la, da, 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 la, da, 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 la, da, la, da, 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 da. It is the first annual Disney Movie Review Award ceremony. That was like my awards ceremony music. Hello, everybody. Disney Dan here with my buddy Walt from Mouse Talk. I'm wearing a tie. Good to see you, brother.
I'm wearing the big guy. There you go.
There we go. How are you? We are here for the awards ceremony off. This is actually 1 year. This is our 1 year anniversary of the Disney Movie Review, which is crazy.
I agree, 100%.
It's
actually, it's amazing that it's been 1 year to the day, almost to the day that we started. Now, we've done over 52 weeks. We've done 33 movies. Because we knew that going in. Dan and I had always said there was never a major commitment that it had to be every week because things come up. Dan had things, I had things. We understood that, but it's been an absolute blessing to do these. Dan and I have really enjoyed it. If for no other reason, we've watched movies we've never seen before, right?
Yeah, we've definitely learned a lot about our likes and dislikes, for sure. For sure. I mean, it's something very... and I think I've got to say, before we get started, that a lot of the films that we watched over the last year, we have definitely, most of the time, agreed on. And there are some that we definitely have not.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. We've really done that. We've had special guests several times, which has been awesome thing as well. We love having special guests. We'll talk about some of the special guests we've had over the year. Obviously, this next year, starting next week, we'll try to get some more special guests.
Absolutely.
And it's been amazing. It really has.
It has, absolutely. But before we get started, let's see who's in the chat. I can't go all the way back in the restream, so I'm just going to read out the names on the YouTube chat. RobFuz was first up in the chat. RobFuz, my partner channel. Go check out RobFuz. Great guy. Great retro streams. Go check him out. Disney Baker, what is up, brother? Good to see you. Bloom and Cheeser, good to see you too. Rachel's Adventure, good to see you, Rachel. Catherine Wilby, welcome. Debbie Bernfeld, welcome in. Super Disney fan, what is up, guys? Thank you so much for being here. And we've also got Super Fluffy Yeti. Good to see you both here as well. Gene, welcome into the stream. So good to see everybody. Kay Atwood, my mod extraordinaire, welcome in. Alv, good to see you. Disney World Freak, what's up, Carlos? Good to see you, brother. Paul Engel, good to see you. Welcome in. Server Girl Sherry, what is up, my lovely? Good to see you. Paul Engel, I said, and Sophie B is here. Welcome in, everybody. So glad everybody is here for our first ever movie ceremony. Cinder Ali loves Disney. Good to see you, Ali. Welcome into the stream. It's crazy after a year of doing these that I think a lot of the times these are films. There are films in these that we haven't even seen before. There are some that we have seen before, and there's always going to be more and more that keep being added to the box. But what we've done for the awards ceremony is I've set up a lot of awards and nominations for different categories. And we're going to discuss them, see what you guys think in the chat, go back and remember those good times we've had over the last year. But before we really get started, I want to show everybody how many films that we have watched this year. So let me get rid of this. Hey, Christine Hickman, so good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome in. And let me share this next thing where it shows you how many movies we've actually watched. Boom. Look at that. Let me put it full screen so everyone can really have a look. So we have 33 films that we have watched together. Walt and I have watched 33 films, starting with The Mighty Ducks, all the way back on the left-hand side. And then our last one that we watched was the Princess Protection Program. But we've watched films like The Lion King, The Cat from Outer Space, Tinkerbell, Three Caballeros, Splash, Avengers Age of Ultron, Sky High, the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, the Apple Dumpling Gang. I mean, this is so many. The Shaggy Dog. Kelly from the Mickey Bunch. So good to see you, Kelly. Welcome into the stream, my lovely. And but we have looked at all these films and we have set aside a few awards for some of these incredible films.
You know what? I gotta say, Dan, what does one thing the one thing about all these movies that I really think is the best?
Yeah.
Variety. We have the big budget movies on here. We have the really small budget movies on here. We have the animated. We have the live actions. We have everything in here. We really hit. I mean, we hit Marvel. We hit Star Wars. We hit Disney Channel movies. We hit animated. We hit Pixar. We kind of hit everybody this year. And
I think you're absolutely right. We pretty much hit every one except the Muppets. They were a little bit left out.
Right.
But we went from old school, like the Shaggy Dog and the Cat from Outer Space, to the modern stuff, the modern live actions, the Marvels, the Star Wars, the Disney Channel original movies, like you said, even some straight to DVD films like Tinkerbell. So many amazing films that we've watched over the last year. James Ryan, what is up, my brother? Good to see you. Welcome in.
Hi, James. Good to see you.
And Pamela Kibidillis, welcome into the stream as well. Welcome in, Pamela.
Hey, thanks everybody for being here, by the way. Noah's in the house.
There's Noah. What is up, Noah? Good to see you, brother. I'm gonna leave this on the screen so everyone can see the movies that we're going to be talking about. But we are going to announce the different awards over the next hour, and we'll start off with best visual effects, or the film that visually looked the best. So we're looking at how that film really looked. Did it look stunning? There was it filmed really well? That's kind of our first award, the best visual effects. Now, should we have a little look at some of these films that we have here, and are there any sort of nominations you would give?
Sure.
So I'm gonna kick things off with let's see. I'm gonna kick things off with who had great visual effects. I mean, you cannot deny that all the Marvel films have fantastic visual effects.
Agreed, 100%. Also, the Star Wars films, whether it's the new, whether it's the old. Look, Star Wars, the original trilogy, Star Wars, was groundbreaking for visual effects in a lot of ways. What they did back in 1977, well, before 77 when they filmed it, was groundbreaking at that time. It was things that were never done before.
Yeah.
Lucasfilm, George Lucas really did. So, I mean, there you have, obviously the Marvel, you have the Star Wars. You have, look, when you're talking about some of these animation, look how far animation has come over the years and the visuals that you have with animation. So there's a lot of different nominees you could go here in what you consider visually stunning or incredibly well done. Visual effects just about the brightness and the colors too. It's the transition to the next scene. It's different things that make something visual. How that visual plays into the story being told. There's a lot of different ways you could go with that.
Absolutely. Suzanne, welcome into the stream. So good to have you. Thank you for being here. The wonderful Melissa from Mouse Talk. So good to see you too. Welcome in. I'm privileged to know her as well. And what a wonderful person. Thank you for being here. Let's see who else is in the chat. Everyone's sort of doing a little bit of a discussion of what's going on. And there's a few other. I think when we did Lion King, I think one of the mainly good things about the new Lion King film is that it looked really, really good. Was it the greatest film, the new Lion King that came out? Possibly not. But visually, it looked stunning. Films like Inside Out, animation-wise, yeah, absolutely. It was really stunning to look at, Inside Out. But, Walt, who did you give the award for best visual effects? And bearing in mind that we both have different lists, we both gave different awards out to different films.
Okay, so for me, I look at a lot of different things for visual effects. Again, I'm looking at a lot of things that, look, green screens are a big thing in today's world. They didn't have them back in the day, so that has to be taken into account. For me, I think of the movies that we reviewed, Avengers Age of Ultron.
Nice. Got
the best visual effects for me. So many great visual effects in that movie. Just stunning to look at, whether it's, just the entire film, the different locations that they filmed it at. I really enjoyed the visual effects on this film a lot for me.
Yeah.
So for
I mean,
visuals, it was really down to a couple different ones. It was either going to be this one, it was going to be Revenge of the Sith, which was really visually stunning as well in a lot of different ways. And then I thought about actually Lion King. I love the visual effects for the original Lion King.
yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
that first scene when the sun comes over the horizon.
I mean, that's a visual spectacle in of itself, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's a stunning scene. That's a stunning visual, and watching all the animals look up as they see it and heading towards the rock. But for me, I gave it to Ultron.
Well, Carlos has actually seen Avengers: Age of Ultron, funnily enough, so I think he approves on that one. See, he wouldn't have been able to say that 12 months ago, but now, that's my boy. Well, not the most stunning movie, the movie with the best use of stylized design, Sleeping Beauty, says Super Fluffy Eddie. That's a really interesting point. I really like that. I really like that. I was on the sort of the wavelength as you, but I wanted to choose something a little bit different. I chose something that when I saw this film in the movie theater, I was just gobsmacked of how awesome it looked. And it only really had two colors, and it was like a really black, dark navy, gray, and a neon blue. And I went with Tron Legacy. Yeah, I didn't go with the original Tron, but Tron Legacy visually is stunning. I think realistic with the minimized color that they really used. They used it really, really well. Everything was so vibrant in this sort of dark grid. All the lights really popped, and I just thought it was so cool to have the visual effects, the light cycles, the light jets. Just everything was such an awesome spectacle, and I really liked Tron Legacy, and so I gave the award for best visual effects to Tron Legacy. I don't know, but yeah, I think two great picks there for sure.
Tron Legacy, again, talking about visual effects and being groundbreaking. The original Tron back in 1980, I think it was 1980.
Yeah,
back then, those visual effects were groundbreaking. Again, they hadn't really done anything like that before. It looks kind of cheesy and dated today, but back then people were like, I was 10 years old, and I remember being like mind blown by, wow, how do they do that? In today's world, it's obsolete. But for the time, and you're right, Tron Legacy, head and shoulders, man, they really took the visuals to a whole nother level for sure.
Absolutely. As we're getting through the awards, I want to let you know this is not like the Academy Awards where it's always the really serious ones. I've also got a few jokey ones in there. So the next one was the coveted Worst Performance of the Year award. So which performance by any actor or actress was the worst performance this year? So I mean, there are many that we can call upon.
I think so. I hate to say it, but look, guys, and again, it's based on the movies that we've watched here on this list, and you can, and guys, I'm glad Dan kept this up because you can see these movies and see which ones, and if you've seen them, you can pick something off of here. So I actually kind of have a worst performance. I really couldn't pick one over the other. I thought one was bad and also unnecessary, and then I just thought one was bad. Hey, Sebastian the Crab, what's up?
Hey, Sebastian the Crab, good to see you. Welcome into the stream.
All right, so for me, the worst performance, I think a lot of people don't agree with this, and some might, is I still am not a big fan of Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader. Now, on this list is Revenge of the Sith. I don't like him in this. I never liked him as Darth Vader. I could never see him as Anakin Skywalker. He just never... in wrestling, they say you got to put somebody over. He never got over for me. He just didn't. He was never convincing enough in the role, and I just don't think he was good for it. I don't think that the writing helped him at all, and he wasn't the type of actor that could take that writing and make it better. Hey, John.
Hey, John. What's up, buddy?
But so Hayden Christensen as Anakin Darth Vader, and then the other one is one of our most recent watches, Meryl Streep in Mary Poppins Returns.
Isn't it bad that we put Meryl Streep out of all the films we've watched this year?
I'm sorry,
Meryl Streep as worst performance.
Look, I have Meryl Streep on a pedestal because she is such an incredible, great, and gifted actress. But in Mary Poppins Returns, first off, I thought her whole entire part was unnecessary to the movie, and it wasn't good. Her accent was terrible.
Hey,
A little bit of, I just wasn't happy with her role.
Good to see you, Dean, from the Live Place. Guys, go check out theliveplace.com. Your go-to guy for all your family-friendly live streamers, and a really great friend of the community and a friend of mine. Go check out Dean from the Live Place. I'm really glad that you brought up Hayden Christensen, because that was my pick. Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith, Hayden Christensen. So it's quite good that we chose both Meryl Streep from Mary Poppins Returns and Hayden Christensen from Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith, which is funny because we put, which Super Fluffy Yeti literally just said, Brendan Fraser's George of the Jungle above those two performances.
But you know what?
Crazy.
He was fine in that role. I didn't mind him in the. I could see him doing the role. It was. We'll get to it. I don't know how to word that. I mean, it doesn't matter who would have. There's bad roles, and then there's bad acting.
Yeah.
And then there's bad acting in roles. It's kind of both. And I don't know. I didn't want to do the obvious either. You're right. I could have picked that one, but I didn't go.
A lot of people are agreeing.
Still there? Did we lose Dan? Dan, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Are you? Okay, but I can't hear you. You there? Dan, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Are you? Okay, but I can't hear you. Dan, I think your mic's off. Can anybody hear Dan? Nobody can hear Dan. I can't hear you. All right, hold on. Can you guys hear Dan? Who can hear Dan? Nobody can hear Dan. If you cannot, nope, Dan's audio is gone. Okay, yeah, Dan, your audio, I think, is gone, buddy. There you go.
Yeah, my mic just, hold on.
You're back.
Right. I'm trying to see if my mic will work.
It works. I hear you.
Me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so my friend Mike, which is this, did not want to comply. He was very offended that we didn't put Brendan Fraser at the bottom. Sorry about that, everybody. Technical difficulties like there always are at the Academy Awards. But you're absolutely right with Hayden Christensen for sure was my pick. He just, you're right. He just was not a good Darth Vader. His acting is poor, and you know what's bad is that he's coming back for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and he probably hasn't had any more acting lessons since he played the part 15 years ago.
Here's the thing. I'm going to give him a shot, though. He's older. He's wiser now. He's done more roles.
Has he?
Going to give him. I think he has. I'm gonna give him a chance. I really am. Because first off, he's not coming back as a major player. I don't think. I think it's a limited supporting role. He's not the star.
No, you're right. Kevin Sparrow, welcome into the stream, buddy.
Hey, welcome in. But that's my opinion. Yeah, and too whiny. I agree 100%. Dean, I didn't like him in the role because he felt like he was a baby. He was crying the whole time. I agree. Joy S, welcome in.
Welcome in, Joy S. Good to see you. So you picked Meryl Streep from Mary Poppins Returns. I absolutely agree. I thought that role, the way I just did not like the character that she was portraying. It just wasn't a fit for her. I don't know. I just did not like it. And Hayden Christensen was on the same wavelength as me. So moving from worst performance that we've seen this year.
Let me say one thing real fast. Guys, we got 42 people in here. Thanks everybody for watching And hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Be sure to hit that like button to support Dan. That's fantastic. 43 watching, Dan, right now.
That's absolutely crazy. Thank you so much for everybody for being here. Epcot Dawn, welcome into the stream. Thank you for being here. First time here.
I appreciate everybody coming over. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks so much.
Having fun.
Hope you guys are enjoying it. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much. We are just getting started into this award ceremony. But thank you so much for being here. You guys really do mean the world to me. Karen Cook, welcome in. So good to see you. So moving from worst performance, let's move into best performance. Now, I think the list for best performance is a lot stronger than worst performance. There's so many that come by. You can even say, Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi was a great performance. The main guy in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which I couldn't even. Rick Moranis, there you go. I know who's on your list. I'm not going to mention that person. Even Chris Pratt as Star-Lord or Zoe Saldana as Gamora. Mm-hmm. I think even Selena Gomez did a really good job in the Princess Protection Program.
I agree.
So I agree. Yeah, a lot to choose from. But who did you pick for best performance of the year?
I picked out of these movies. It was hard for me to go with an animated. Okay, there's something about acting. Look, animation is really, really hard, and sometimes, it's all vocal, but there's something about acting being able to show body, your body movement and body language. That. Sometimes there's characters that are really good with physical comedy. Dick Van Dyke is one of them.
Yeah.
John Ritter was a great guy when it comes to physical comedy, different things like that. So for me, out of these movies, the best performance that I enjoyed the most was Tom Hanks in Splash. It was actually one of his first roles, major roles, and it was really one of the ones that kind of put him over the top. And I love him in this film. He is funny. He can be serious in this role. His continuity with both Daryl Hannah and John Candy, who was also fabulous in this, is really, really good. I really loved Tom Hanks in Splash. I thought he was fantastic, and it was really the start of his career. Just shot up from this role.
I absolutely agree. I think Tom Hanks was a fantastic choice. Best performers for Super Fluffy Yeti says clearly the cat from the cat from outer space. That's already gone on actually. Karen Cook says, Dan, I'm with you about Hayden. He can't act his way out of a paper bag. That is true.
George Priestley, what's up?
Well, welcome in, George Priestley. Thank you so much for being here. Tom Hanks out of Splash. It was the film I actually watched for the first time through the Disney movie review. I actually really enjoyed the film, and I think that Tom Hanks did a really fantastic performance. I think he did a really great performance in that film. It was very Tom Hanks-esque. Everything that you would expect from Tom Hanks was in that film. Samantha Lowe, so good to see you, Sam. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I think Tom Hanks is a great pick for best actor, best performance of the year. My pick for best performance was a person who pretty much there's no other person who could choose this role. Like, this actor was for this character. They deliberately chose this person, and there's no other person on earth who could play this character. You're probably thinking it's Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr., but you're wrong. It is Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. On Stranger Tides wasn't the best Pirates of the Caribbean film, but what made that film, you knew that when you watch a Pirates of the Caribbean film, you're going to expect Captain Jack Sparrow, who is the most entertaining part of the franchise. Johnny Depp is going to give a fantastic performance. And I think that I could watch Captain Jack Sparrow all day, every day, and I think he did a fantastic performance in a film that I think is quite underrated, but it's not the best. So I went with Captain Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp for best performance.
Here's my opinion on that. If this was Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, or Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, I would have voted for him. On this one, on Stranger Tides, I think he's still Jack. Don't get me wrong, but this is film 4 of the 6 that they've done or whatever. At this point, I think he was good. He's always great as Captain Jack, but I think he was funnier in some of the. I liked his performance better in some of the earlier ones.
Oh, absolutely.
So, you know what that's why I didn't choose him, because that was my 2 choices. It was either going to be him or Tom Hanks.
Was it?
Yes, I'm not kidding you guys. It really was. It was either going to be him or Tom Hanks. But I went with Tom Hanks because of what it was for Tom at the time. It was like his first really big role. He had done Bachelor Party, I think, before this, but that's not.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
You know, but for Johnny, this was film 4 or 5 in that role. But I thought he did it better early on. So that was my reason why I didn't go with Jack.
I think both picks are fantastic, but
I agree.
I think Tom Hanks for sure is definitely up there for probably best performance of the year. I mean, you can't go wrong with Captain Jack Sparrow, but even looking at some of the others, you know, you cannot count out Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr. in Avengers: Age of Ultron. You're looking at so many great performances in films like Guardians of the Galaxy, as well as a few others. Even in the Apple Dumpling Gang, the 2 buffoons from the Apple Dumpling Gang. I can't remember their names. They did a fantastic
Don
performance.
Knotts and Tim Conway.
Don Knotts and Tim Conway. Fantastic performances in there. So Johnny Depp's performance made the series. Without him, none of the sequels would have made it. But Walter's right. He is better in the earlier films. Absolutely agree with you, Super Fluffy Yeti. But it's still a fantastic performance nonetheless.
And Super Fluffy Yeti, and you're right, Dan. These movies don't get made if Jack Sparrow's not in them. And that's why when they talked about doing a Pirates reboot, I think it's going to fail miserably. I hate to say it.
Patrick Gillespie says, I think James Earl Jones as Mufasa was a perfect choice. I cannot imagine another voice as Mufasa. I think if we certainly had Best Voiceover Award, which sadly we don't have, I think definitely that would probably be up there in the top 2 for sure. Absolutely.
Well, can you imagine anybody else being Darth Vader either?
That's why Hayden Christensen got worse performance. There you go. We're going to move, speaking of Mufasa, we're going to move on to the Best Animated Award. And I think we got the same result here.
I think we did too. Look, I think this is the best animated film ever made, personally.
I agree.
And it is the original Lion King for me. There's a lot of great animated films, but The Lion King, I think, is the best animated film ever made, in my opinion.
I would like to say that over the past 12 months, we have seen some fantastic animated films. Films like Inside Out, The Emperor's New Groove, Bambi. One film that really surprised me, The Rescuers. Really enjoyed that movie. We had films like Sleeping Beauty, Tinkerbell, Beauty and the Beast, of course, Tangled. We've really had some absolutely fantastic animated films that we watched this year. And we really, really, really enjoyed it. But I think the one out of all of those that really stands out, that really is, you can argue that it is the greatest animated film of all time, not just at Disney, but any animated film of all time. It is The Lion King. It's a perfect story. The music is fantastic. It is animated beautifully. The voice acting, just the message it tells, there's something about it. Matt Simbatu, welcome into the stream. Thank you for being here. You have films like Beauty. We watched Beauty and the Beast, and that definitely is a contender right there. But I think Lion King for sure is our number one for the both of us.
It was for me. And Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid are fantastic. I love all those films. They're all fantastic to me. But there's just something about The Lion King. That movie is. Who do they say it's supposed to be like a take on Macbeth? Is that what it is?
I think it's Hamlet. Hamlet.
That's what I'm sorry. Hamlet. It's kind of your take on Hamlet for sure. Absolutely. Zootopia is good, Bloom and Cheese. I like Zootopia. But we hadn't watched it yet.
Yeah, we haven't reviewed it just yet. So, but things like Zootopia and The Little Mermaid, we will get to those at some point eventually down the line.
Right. Now, everybody's got to remember, just as a reminder for those coming in, we are only giving awards for the movies that we watched over the last year, the ones you see on screen. So you're right. Zootopia is a good film. Mermaid's a good film, but we hadn't watched them and reviewed them yet, so that's why we don't talk about them.
I also want to mention that if you would like to go back and watch all of our reviews, I have a playlist on my YouTube channel. So if you go into playlists on my channel and you'll see the playlist Disney Movie Review, you'll be able to watch all 33 episodes. And they're a lot of fun. We always have a good time. So, yeah, absolutely. Now, moving from Best Animated Film, we're going to move into another silly one here. We've gone for the cheesiest / cringiest moment of the year. So a movie that is just cheesy or cringy or made you just go, ugh, why? Or anything like that. The cheesiest / cringiest moment award.
Well, I went with one moment. I didn't go with an entire film. Okay, look.
No, neither did I.
I went with one moment in a film, and the funniest, the cheesiest, cringiest to me was the scene in, and if anybody's seen it, The Cat from Outer Space, when the main guy goes and finds the spaceship, and he has to be outside for a reason, and the cat kind of like levitates him over the ship, and it's like done really, really bad, and you can actually see the wires that are holding him up. I mean, it's just, it's 60 something when
1963, I think.
Oh my gosh, it's so cheesy and so badly done because you can actually see the wires holding him.
It's so funny. I mean, just for the time, you just want to say to the directors and the production crew, just bless them. Like they did what they could with the technology that they had.
Like, oh my god, it's so funny. He's supposed to be levitating, but you can see the wires that are holding him up there. Oh, that's the one for me. That was the one that was the cringiest.
Yeah.
Out of them all for me.
You haven't heard mine then yet. My cringiest / cheesiest moment is the 6 to 10 minute song at the end of the Lizzie Mcguire movie when she's on stage singing "This Is What Dreams Are Made Of" for 10 minutes. She's on that stage singing "This Is What Dreams Are Made Of" for 10 minutes. It has driven me insane, and it's so cringy, it's so cheesy, and she's like doing this big routine with her family and the woman who actually is not the bad guy, that's actually the bloke that's the bad guy. And it's just 10 minutes of them just singing. They needed to fill the movie up for another 10 minutes to actually, like, it feels like they needed the 10 minutes extra so they can actually produce the film. So they're just like, oh yeah, we'll just give Lizzie Mcguire 10 minutes singing on a stage.
Oh my gosh. I get it. I mean, you're right. It was like, it probably could have been about 6 minutes less.
Oh, it was just, I'm taking my tie off because I'm getting warm, but it is just so...
Dan dressed up, guys, by the way. He wore a tie.
I wore a tie. It was just so cringy, so cheesy. I was like, after 2 minutes, I had enough.
I'm with you.
But there was a few other cringy moments. I mean, anything with Hayden Christensen on the screen is cringy. There's a few. There was a few. Definitely, The Cat from Outer Space could probably be awarded the cringiest movie of the year. And also maybe the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. I think that was also quite cringy when Poe Dameron was trying to set up like Wookiee Life Day with all the Lego characters. That's pretty good too. I quite like that. So yeah, there's quite a few cringy moments of the year. So it was good. I think both very, very good picks. The Cat from Outer Space. If you haven't seen that review or haven't seen The Cat from Outer Space, please go watch it. It's such a fun film.
It is.
It's really fun.
It's very early Disney live action for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Now, we're going to move on to 2 awards in the funny category. The Funniest Line Award. Now, the Funniest Line Award, I mean, we could name 100 lines in all of these films that were funny. I mean, you look at so many films in, for example, Avengers Age of Ultron, George of the Jungle, Apple Dumpling Gang, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Like, there's just so... Hey, I Shrunk the Kids. What? There's just so many. I mean, Kronk in The Emperor's New Groove could have his own separate category. Matt Williams, welcome into the stream, and Sean Christensen, welcome into the stream. You're not the brother of Hayden Christensen, are you? Sean Christensen? Probably.
Don't watch the beginning of this then.
Don't watch the beginning or any more of this. But there were definitely some really great lines and great moments in this film. So who would you say had the funniest line in this film? Did you have a funniest line? Did you have a certain character?
I kind of cheated. For me, I just chose anything Rocket Raccoon says.
Now, bearing in mind, we've watched Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. So,
yes, we did. So we watched both 1 and 2. He's got so many different lines where he's just really, really funny. Anything Rocket Raccoon says is hilarious. His lines are fantastic, and Bradley Cooper delivers them incredibly well. Talk about voiceovers. If we did have a voiceover character award for that, he'd be in the running. His voiceover is really, really good. He does a great job. So for me, it was anything Rocket Raccoon said. I couldn't pick any one line that really stood out that I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. But maybe with the next one, but we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Don't push this button because that'll blow everybody up. Or he's just such a great character, and the lines that he comes out with are always so entertaining. Even the ones that are quite meaningful, he still puts like that sort of funny twist on it. Mm-hmm. And look at all of us standing in a circle like a bunch of Jack.
Exactly. I think he's funny.
I think he's great. I think he's absolutely great.
I'm going to get that arm.
I'm going to get that arm. He'll wake up and not know where his eye is. Oh, that's great. My award for the funniest line was not actually spoken by a particular character, but the line inflicted another character's emotion. And when I mean emotion, I mean literally. This line is from Inside Out, and it involves my buddy Anger. And every time the line "Triple X will make you smile," and then you just see Anger just getting really angry, his hair goes in flames. Every time that comes on the screen, that advert for Triple X gum, it's so funny. I love that line. I was cracking up in the cinema when I first watched it, and again, every time I watch it, whenever they send that ball up through to the base, the emotion base, and it comes up with Triple X, and it just is so good. And that was my funniest line of the year. Really, really clever, and it just shows that any advert can stick in your head for many, many times. So so I went with Triple X gum and Anger from Inside Out. Which moves on to not funniest line, but funniest moment.
This one, for me, there's a lot of different funny moments. But in a movie that was really a serious movie in a lot of ways, The Lion King, it had one of the funniest moments, especially in any of the ones that we've chosen. And that's the line where Simba says, "We need a diversion." And Timon looks at him and goes, "What do you want me to do? Dress and drag and do the hula?" And then he goes out and does the yep. And it's going to be a big pig too. Oi! That entire sequence in the middle of. Now you got to remember, this is in the middle of an incredibly serious scene. He's trying to come back and retake his throne from Scar. And they throw this incredibly hilarious moment in the middle
out of the blue.
Yeah, out of the blue into the biggest moment and serious. The battle's about to start, and they throw this in there. It's one of the best moments.
But it works.
It's everything.
It works.
That's mine. It works phenomenally because it takes the edge off, even for just a couple of seconds. It takes the edge off before we get into the big battle. I love that. That scene to me is the funniest scene.
I think my pick will be overshadowed by that pick because that pick is just it is one of the best funny moments in Disney history. It is so funny. Everything that they do, Timon and Pumbaa, is always that good comedic effect at the right time. The writers did such a great job. Oh, I love that scene so much. I love it. My funny moment defies gravity, and I'm not talking the wicked kind. One of the most interesting films we watched this year was George of the Jungle. And it's the scene.
I know where you're going.
And this is the scene where George has brought his friend, the woman who's exploring sort of the jungle, around, to his penthouse in the middle of the jungle. And he's swinging on vines like there's no gravity. Like he's swinging upside down. He's swinging like with one hand. It's almost like he's holding onto the vine and he's not moving. It's the green screen moving behind him. And they're throwing like a fan to breeze his hair. It is just the most absurd, funniest moment that just like Einstein would be rolling in his grave because they've proven gravity wrong in this scene. It is so funny, and everything that Brendan Fraser does in George of the Jungle can be considered as the funniest moment because of how ridiculous it is. That whole film is ridiculous in such a funny way, and we'll definitely be talking about this more later on near the end of the show. But that scene where he's defying gravity, swinging on those vines, and then crashing into a tree, and the tree stump completely molds his face with a smile and it's just ridiculous. It is absurd.
Oh my god! There's
absolutely
so much to say about that film. Go back and watch that review. That was
a great review. I think that's in my top 3 favorite reviews we've done. We've got a couple of films left to go. We've got about 5 awards left, so we're going to quickly breeze through these. But the next award is the film that we were most surprised that we liked. So a film that we hadn't really seen before, we hadn't seen in a long time, that we watched, and we were actually pleasantly surprised. I call it the most shocking or surprised movie award. The film that we didn't think we'd like, but we really, really enjoyed by the end of it. And there's a lot of films. I mean, I hadn't seen a lot of these films before, like The Apple Dumpling Gang, like The Shaggy Dog, Splash, Homeward Bound, the Lizzie Mcguire film. I mean, there's so many films that I actually hadn't seen before, so there was plenty of opportunity for me to be surprised. So, and I think that's the same with you.
Absolutely. Agreed 100%. There was a few of them in here that could have made this list for me. But for me, the one I was the most surprised with was the Tinkerbell movie.
Who didn't see that one coming?
Who didn't see that one coming? I really enjoyed that film. We had Courtney Rainwaters on with us. She was our special guest that night to talk about it. She's a big Tinkerbell fan, loves those movies. She was brought incredibly great insight and fun to that night. But that movie was much better than I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be like, oh my God.
I remember pulling it and you made a big face.
I did. I was like, oh my gosh. And I enjoyed it. It was fun. It had a good story. It told us, it had a good moral to it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was done really well. The little nods to Peter Pan in there were fantastic. In the end, I thought was wonderful. I enjoyed Tinkerbell. The Tinkerbell movie was the one that was the most surprising of all of these, in a positive way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a film that is so overlooked. Out of all the films that we have seen, so overlooked of how good actually it really was. Is it the best film we watched out of all 33? No, of course not. But we were definitely pleasantly surprised when we finished that film, and we actually gave it quite a positive grade compared to a lot of the other films that we've seen. So. Yeah, I'm actually really glad that you enjoyed that, because I actually had seen it before, and it was a really, really fun watch actually for that one. Similarly, my favorite film that I really enjoyed, that I was most pleasantly surprised when I finished watching it, was The Apple Dumpling Gang. I had never seen it before. I thought it was literally about a group of guys who go apple picking. I literally thought it was like these group of guys who go to apples and dump them into places. I really thought who would want to watch an hour and a half movie about apples. But actually, I was really pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed the movie. I found it extremely funny. And I was really pleasantly surprised, and I would go back and rewatch the Apple Dumpling Gang later down the line. It was really, really fun film.
That's a great pick. I love the Apple Dumpling Gang. I saw it back in the 70s when it came out. It's super hilarious. It's absolutely a ton of fun. I've seen it several times, and I would absolutely watch it again. Tim Conway and Don Knotts are so hilarious in this film. The little girl is cute. What was his name? I forgot his name. Mr. Such and Such. I gotta go. That's a great pick. It's a really
go. That was a great movie. I really, really enjoyed that. Two great picks there for most shocking and surprise movie in a positive way award. On the flip side, the most let down movie award with the film that we watched that we thought it was good, but actually we were quite disappointed by. So, I mean, there's a few films here that, again, maybe we were a little bit disappointed by. Not many, I don't think. I think one like the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, I think we both were quite looking forward to that, and it was okay. But there was a few others. What did you think for the most let down movie award?
Well, I hate to say it, but I really was expecting a lot from Mary Poppins Returns, and if you watched my review, I was not a fan of that movie.
No, you weren't.
I did not like a lot of the acting wasn't as good. I didn't actually like. I know everybody's going to be mad at me. I didn't like her portrayal, Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins. I didn't think she did a great job. I know a lot of people thought she was wonderful. I thought her take on it was a lot different, and it didn't work for me. But I just didn't enjoy the film. There was a lot of unnecessary songs, a lot of unnecessary scenes. So for me, I was really disappointed. I was kind of sad. I was very saddened by it with Mary Poppins Returns. It's hard to follow such an incredibly wonderful classic icon film.
You're doing a sequel for one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah, that's a tough. It's a
tough gig. It's a tough gig for that,
and I don't think it passed, in my opinion.
No, I think it was one of the few films that we did actually disagree on. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than you did. Obviously, I had a few more sort of personal connections to that film, but I agree, it's not the greatest film ever, but definitely a bit of a letdown. My pick, I'm going to choose a film that I'm just going to say I was really bored. I was really, really, really bored. And that was the original 1983's Tron. Tron really bored me. And I was often quite confused of who the actual main character was, because once they're in those bodysuits, you really can't tell who is who unless you really keep an eye on it. You really can't. I was so bored with that film, the original Tron. I know it's like quite a cult classic from a lot of people, especially who grew up in the 70s and 80s. But for me, I really did not enjoy it. I actually prefer Tron Legacy a lot more. I mean, really a lot more than the original Tron. I was definitely let down a lot by the original Tron from the 1980s. A lot of people were agreeing with the Apple Dumpling Gang. A lot of people are agreeing with you for Mary Poppins Return. Some people aren't, but
I know. Super Disney family, they're all booing me. I don't blame you. I'm glad you like it.
They're liking me because I liked it a little bit more than you did.
That they are.
I think two of those films definitely were sort of on the lower half of our grading system, I think, for sure. But going from something that we didn't do, we're going to go to we're going to move on to the Best Movie Award. Now, when I mean the Best Movie Award, I don't mean our favorite movie. This is like the best movie, the one that we gave the top grade, the one that we really thought is the best at every single area of the filmmaking business, the acting, the voice acting, whatever it is, how it looks, the music, the cinematography, the visuals, everything. The best movie that you would see win an Academy Award. What would be that best movie? I think there's a lot of contenders here. I mean, a lot of these films that we've seen that are here on screen have actually won awards. Films like Wall-E, films like let's see, Sleeping Beauty has won awards too.
Lion King has won awards.
Lion King, Beauty and the
Captain
Beast.
Marvel won actually visual awards, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
At the not the Academy Awards, at the Golden Globes.
Right.
Inside Out for sure. So there's a lot of actually really incredible films, but I want to know from Walt, which movie, in your opinion, is the best movie we watched in the past 12 months?
Yeah, there's, in my opinion, looking at the movies we've done, I don't really think there's a competition here, in my opinion. I thought this was the easiest one for me to pick. I think the best out of all of these, and there's some really good ones in there, but for me, I didn't even really have to think about this. It's The Lion King. Tron is not that good. Captain Marvel, I didn't enjoy that much. Age of Ultron's a good movie, but it's not better than The Lion King. Tangled's great. Inside Out's good. Emperor's New Groove is fine. That's fun too. And then, Beauty and the Beast is a classic. But there's just Wall-E is fun. And I actually enjoyed Wall-E the second time I watched it. I didn't enjoy it.
Brandon and Heidi, welcome into the stream. It's always sunny. Great to see you guys. Welcome
they were special guests too, weren't they?
No, we're gonna have them for special guests. Hopefully, when we pick a film that I think both Brandon and Heidi like. Yeah, I've got them in mind.
Right. So, Lion King for me is, I think, the best of what we've reviewed on this list.
Yeah, absolutely. I think The Lion King. I think we both gave it an A.
Did I give it an A? I thought I gave it an A plus, didn't I?
Did you give it? I thought I was the only one who have given an A plus before.
Maybe.
I think you want to take that back now. You want to give it an A plus, don't you?
I'm giving it an A plus now.
There you go. But The Lion King clearly is definitely up there as one of the greatest films. I'm actually going to give the award to the film that I gave the only A plus in the last 12 months, and that's to Inside Out. I think emotionally, well, that's a bit of a pun there, but emotionally I felt so connected to the film. Incredibly well written. Music is phenomenal. And I think you can't go wrong with either The Lion King or Inside Out as the best movie of the year. Out of all the films we watched this year, I think Lion King for sure is up there. And for me, Inside Out, for me, it was so wonderful to rewatch that again. I was crying a lot when I was watching Inside Out.
That's great.
But yeah, it was so much fun. And there's still some great films here as well. I mean, the original Guardians of the Galaxy, a fantastic movie there. Beauty and the Beast, Wall-E. Sleeping Beauty, absolutely. Tangled, for sure. Bambi. Yeah. But yeah, really fantastic. Yeah, Lion King and Inside Out as best movies of the year. But then we move to our favorite movie of the year. So not necessarily the best movie of the year, but the one we really enjoyed the most, the one that was our favorite. There was a lot of films that we picked this year that I really loved to rewatch. Films that I've really enjoyed rewatching over and over, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Age of Ultron. There were so many great films that we were able to watch again. What was your favorite movie of the year?
It's the same movie. It's The Lion King. It is. It's hard for me of what, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, the first one, it was probably my next favorite on this list. I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy. It was a lot of fun. I don't think it was the best film for sure. It's not even the best film in all the Marvel movies, but it is a favorite of ours. I really enjoyed it. But for me, The Lion King is just such an enjoyable movie. I think it's the best, but it's also the most enjoyable. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
The mix of serious along with the comedy and the voice acting and the story it told, it's one of my favorites. I can watch it all the time. And the music is all the songs, and they're all classics. It's just amazing.
It's good. I loved Inside Out. I thought it was so well done. Like you said, the emotion is so powerful, says Sebastian the Crab. I can watch Inside Out over and over, says Super Fluffy Yeti. Pamela says, I love Splash with Tom Hanks. Favorite movie of the year, Super Fluffy Yeti says Tangled. I think, I was going to agree with you with Lion King. I think overall it is probably my favorite out of all of these, but I wanted to choose something different because otherwise we'll be picking Lion King for every award, well, every good award. So I chose the film that when we pulled it, I was overjoyed, and you could probably guess which one. It was The Emperor's New Groove. I really, really love The Emperor's New Groove. The film is super underrated as a classic Disney animated film. It is probably the funniest film we watched all year. I think every scene
It is. It's very funny.
It is very, very funny from start to finish. Straight away, just it is such a funny film, and I really, really enjoyed Emperor's New Groove for sure. It was a really, really fun film. I mean, you can't go wrong. Either Lion King, Emperor's New Groove for favorite films of the year. So Walt's favorite film of the year was The Lion King, and my favorite film of the year was Emperor's New Groove. But folks, the big award, the big Grand Slammy, the big award. Here we go, the final award of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Worst Movie Award. This is the film that by far was the worst film of the year, the film that we really did not like, the film that we really hated. And there's a few... Oh, you know what? I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go first on this one, Walt, because I actually have seen your answers. I'm going to go first on this one.
Okay.
Because I think the one that you're going to pick we can save to last. My worst movie of the year is the Lizzie Mcguire movie. I really did not enjoy this film as much as I thought I would. Definitely not for me, for my demographic. I really loved the series when I was growing up. I really enjoyed watching that series. And then when I watched the Lizzie Mcguire film, really did not like it at all. Finally, we're going to talk about the Lizzie Mcguire, says Chris from Dad. Are you secretly a Lizzie Mcguire fan, Chris from Dad Builds? Is that oh. I knew Dan would choose that one, says Gene. Yeah. Yeah, Lizzie Mcguire movie was probably my worst film of the year. I really didn't like it that much. Melissa says that was pretty bad. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Not as bad as what Walt is going to pick. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll. Actually, let's be honest. We all know what Walt is going to pick. Here we go. The only film that got an F the whole year goes to...
It's George of the Jungle. That film is horrendous. Don't ever... Like, we always say watch them all. Don't watch them. That movie is bad. There are bad, funny movies. I had to stop and start this movie like 7 times. I couldn't get through it. I couldn't wait. The best part of the movie were the end credits. I'm sorry. This was a terrible, terrible film. George of the Jungle by far it's the reason for Armageddon. I'm telling you. That's why we have it. Okay? I'm just kidding. But this film is horrible. And I really like Brendan Fraser, and he did his best. It's terrible. This movie is horrible.
Here's the thing, though.
It's the reason people get put into those rooms that have the cushions around everywhere. It's
psychiatric rooms. Here's the thing.
Nothing funny about this film. I'm sorry. I couldn't. Dan's right. It's so ridiculously stupid. Like the talking ape. Oh my god.
The talking ape. The talking ape.
I can't even get it. And he's got a British accent too. And he's from Africa or wherever he's from. Wherever he's an African he's an ape.
They go to San Francisco for no reason. They go all the way to San Francisco for George to go back to the jungle. He goes there, walks around a little bit, and then he goes back.
And he goes. They ship him back in a box, and somehow he's got a chair in there, and he's got food in there with him, and he doesn't have any holes, so I don't really know how he was able to breathe and get oxygen in there. But he made it.
Oh gosh!
See, so there's we talk about Isaac Newton's theory of gravity and theory of relativity for big guy Einstein. I'd like somebody to give me the theory of being able to breathe in a box with no holes to get the air.
Here's the thing, though, right? This is the reason why I liked the movie, because of how bad everybody knows. Look, if you've been following my channel for years, if you've seen me on RobFuz's channel when we've been doing those kind of ranking films,
Good Lord.
when we review things like Jaws 4, Batman and Robin, The Room, all those films that are so bad that they are hilarious, you know, and everyone knows that I love those kind of films because they are so bad that I can just laugh at them for how bad they are. That's why I really love George of the Jungle, because I can put that movie on and just laugh at it. Laugh how bad it is. Space Mountain Dave Cantrell, welcome into the stream. Narrow Valley with Glenn, welcome into the stream as well.
This film is so bad. I'm telling you right now. They got Leslie Mann's in it as well. Yeah. This alone, Super Disney Family quotes a part of the movie. Don't worry, nobody dies in this film. They just get really big boo-boos. That line alone tells you not to watch it.
When he's swinging on the vines, and then the gorillas walk by with a trampoline that they made out of branches.
Here's the thing: if this is an animated film, I'm okay with it. I really am. I get it. Then it makes more sense as a cartoon, because that's what George of the Jungle was. It was a cartoon first. They tried to make this into a live action.
Can I change my favorite movie choice, please?
Not to this.
That would be the last episode that would have together.
I'm sorry. I hate to say it, guys. If you like George of the Jungle, go have a CAT scan.
I already did, and I still like it.
No, I'm just kidding. I did not like this film at all. It was the worst film for me. On this list, easily, I would choose Lizzie Mcguire over this.
No.
Yes, I would. I would watch it again if I had to.
Oh man. I love that. You know what? I love George of the Jungle more now because you don't like it. I love it more because I can watch that film and be like, you know what? I love George of the Jungle because Walt doesn't like it. And thousands and millions of other people who don't like it either. So,
I'm glad I could be of service to you.
Oh man, so I hope everybody enjoyed our first annual Disney Movie Review Awards ceremony. It's been such a fun year doing these reviews. We've been really enjoying these so much, and there's plenty of more to choose from, plenty more in the box. I want to see films like a Muppet film come up this year. I want to see another Star Wars film. I want to see another Marvel film. And don't forget, when stuff comes to Disney Plus, we will put it in the box. For example, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the WandaVision, Soul, and Luca, which is going to be coming out. That's all going to go in the box. When Loki finishes, Loki is going to be put in the box. There's things like the Imagineering Story, Prop Culture, and all the exclusive stuff.
I didn't know we were doing series as well. I thought it was just movies.
But don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch the whole series in a week. We'll just pick one episode. But because that's too much. But still, we really love doing these, and it's such a over the last 12 months I've been saying this to Walt, that this is the favorite thing I love doing on a Sunday night, doing these shows, reviewing it with you guys who watch these films with us each and every week. Whatever we pick, go out and watch it. You know, even if it is George of the Jungle, even if it is, God forbid, Attack of the Clones, which I'd rather watch George of the Jungle than Attack of the Clones. Cruella goes in the box. Yes, that's in the box. Raya is in the box as well. But please, just whatever we pick, go out and watch it. Come back every Sunday, 6 p.m. and review it with us, because we really love doing these. We really do.
We do. It's a lot of fun. Guys, if you haven't already hit that like button for Dan, hit it. We're one away from 50. Let's get him to 50 likes before we head out. But this is amazing. Look, we love doing these every single week, as often as we can. We don't do it every week. I mean, we've got a kind of a break coming up. We'll be on next week, but then we might have a break for some holiday stuff coming up. But we love to do these, and one of the best things we love about it is we love to get your input too.
Yeah,
we love for you guys to go out and watch them. We ask for your ratings in the chat at the end of the night every single week as well, and you guys are more than happy to give them. And they're always very educated. You know, you give a reason why you give it a B or a D or an F or an A+ or whatever, and we love it. And It's our, Dan has said it so many times, very eloquently, it's our Disney book club, but through movies in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And we're very honored and blessed to have had this first year. And, God willing, and as long as schedules and things don't prohibit it, we're going to keep doing these because we
Absolutely.
thoroughly enjoy them. And we love spending time with you guys.
We really do. We really do. And coming up, now there won't be a poll today because we actually made 2 polls last week because I made a bit of a boo-boo.
You did a mulligan.
I hit a mulligan for the first time in over a year. Now, it's not next weekend. It is the weekend after is our next review, I believe.
Right. And next weekend is Father's Day.
Next weekend is Father's Day. And so not next weekend, but the weekend after, the next review will be on Walt's channel, as we are doing alternate channels. And we are going to be watching Escape from Witch Mountain. That was pulled last week. We are very much looking forward to that. The thumbnail will be up this week, so you guys can go over there, get ready for that, put it on your watch list, and hit that like button. So Escape from Witch Mountain will be our next movie review to watch in 2 weeks' time. We are very much looking forward to it. I cannot wait for that. And I hope you guys go out and watch it. Go out and watch Escape from Witch Mountain. We really like you guys to check it out. But thank you, everybody. We really do appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, Captain Akron. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And that wraps up our award ceremony. But firstly, I want to say thank you to Dean over at thelifeplace.com. Again, Dean is your go-to guy for all your family-friendly live streamers. He is your guy for everybody who streams out there. You can also check out my partner channels, which is RobFuz, who was in here earlier, the Viapree Project, Mickey's Magic, and the wonderful Walt and Melissa from Mouse Talk. Speaking of Mouse Talk, what is coming up this week?
Sure, thanks. I appreciate it. So Tuesday night is the Sanity, 8 p.m. We're hoping to be on location. I'm going to look to see. We might be having a fun stream on location, so come out for that. Yes, one of the Disney parks. I won't say which one. You'll have to come out and see.
Blizzard Beach.
That's not going to be that one. Like 6 o'clock. We can't even if we wanted to. But we're going to be doing that Tuesday, and then next Saturday and Sunday. Next Saturday, we are at Animal Kingdom. It's been like over a month since we've been to Animal Kingdom. And then Sunday, we're spending Father's Day at the Magic Kingdom with you guys. We're going to have such a great morning stream. It's going to be an early morning stream. But we got a lot coming up. And, of course, we also have our ride-alongs on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Be sure to check those out. And, again, Dan, this is always a pleasure and an honor to do these with you and everybody in the chat. Thank you all for coming over and supporting Dan tonight.
Thank you.
It's a big thing. If you haven't already subscribed to Dan, you need to do so. Look, Dan's a former cast member. He knows a ton about Disney. He is as much of a fan as Melissa and I and everybody else is. Let's show him some support.
We're only one away from 2,200 subscribers.
One away from 2,200.
One away. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We are one away from 2,200 subscribers.
Yep.
So if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead, check it out. Check out my channel. Check out the welcome trailer. And that really does mean a lot to me. So thank you so much. But guys, in response, go check out Mouse Talk. My wonderful friends, Walt and Melissa. They're like my YouTube family. I love those guys so much. They do incredible live streams from all over the place. They're Disney Ride Along. You need the Muppet Moving Right Along overlay music to that, and just remaster it to Disney Ride Along. Come on, it's great. Oh, thanks, Chris. I really appreciate it.
You hit it, by the way. You're at 2.2.
Did I? Yay! I need to do the Kermit the Frog. Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Really
Space
does.
Mountain Dave subscribe too. Look at that.
Oh, thank you, Space Mountain Dave. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really, again, it means the world. Really does mean the world to me. And you are my family. Whether we've met yet or not. Courtney Rainwater is one of our special guests who joined us. Thank you so much for being here. As for me, you can check me out on Twitter and on Instagram. I have a vlog coming out hopefully this week. It's been super busy. Disney Fiasco, my main show I do on Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I know I have been a little bit quiet over the last couple of weeks about Disney Fiasco. It's just been a bit sort of crazy with everything going on. But as the summer season is coming around, when I have a bit more free time, I'll be doing those back up to normal. We're trying to get to 150 episodes. We're now on 136, which is crazy. So we are getting close to the 150 episode milestone for Disney Fiasco. So if you haven't checked out the show, go check out last week's show. It was so funny. Really funny show. So go check that out. We'll play some games with a few of the guys in the chat. So please go check them out. Yeah, follow me Twitter, Instagram, and that's pretty much it. And I've got a lot of stuff waiting to be ready for this summer. So thanks so much, everybody. We will see you, both Walt and I will see you in 2 weeks' time for the next movie review, Escape from Witch Mountain. In the meantime, have a fantastic week, everybody. We love you very much. And as we always say here on Disney Movie Review, the famous phrase, for the good of all Kree. We timed that really well, actually. Bye, everybody.